what if I told you that this page you're seeing, it's a Filament admin panel? Yes, it is a Filament admin panel. But then everything you can see here, it's highly customized. When I click here to prove that it is Filament, you see that basically this is how our Filament looks. We're used to the traditional Filament design where everything looks the same. But in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can customize the admin panel and make it look the way you want it to look. Because all projects you build with Filament basically look the same. And sometimes you don't want that. I created this channel because I couldn't find this stuff online. So I had to create a channel where I can post Laravel tips and tricks that you can find on any other channel. If you're new to my channel, kindly hit the subscribe button. Thank you, and let's get into it. To get started, I'll go back to my VS Code and let's open the app folder. Inside, we want to open the provider and click on Filament. Now we need to open the admin panel provider. We want to customize and reduce the length of this sidebar. So the first thing we are going to do here, you're going to change sidebar width. So here, let's just use something small so that you can see that. So make sure that this is inside a quote. So let's refresh this and notice what happened. It's going to automatically adjust the width of this. Now, after that, I want to also make it collapsible. So sidebar collapsible on desktop. So this takes a boolean value. So we're going to set this to true. What that means is that the user will be able to collapse this. So let me refresh the screen. So now you get this icon. We can now do this. And after that, let's just try to make sure that we set the max content width. So I'm going to set max content width. So here we can just set that to full. That's for this section here. But if you don't put that, it's still going to work fine. So the next part of this is the CSS. So I'm going to close that and let's open our public folder. Inside, click CSS and let's open the Filament. Here we have the app.css. This is where we are going to edit our code. And this is not going to cause any security issues on your application because this is from the documentation. Here, the first thing we want to try and change here so that you see it's possible, it's phi minus then the sidebar minus nav. So this is the first thing we want to change. So I want to add a background color to this, and this is going to be F2, F2, F2. And we need to specify that this is important so that it can override the initial class that we have. So the phi here stands for Filament. So let's go back to our design. But if I refresh this, you're going to see this changes here. But this time now, we want a different color for the dark mode, because if I should switch to the light mode here, you see we have this and this looks great on the light mode. But on the dark mode, nah, it doesn't. So let's create another class this time for dark mode. So I'm going to copy this to save time and paste this here. So where we have this, I'm going to specify that this is a dark mode. So to do that, I'm going to add column is, then in parentheses, I can add dark like this. So I will just add the asterisk here. So it checks everything and make sure that it is dark. So for this, we want to use a different color for this. So we can use 24242424. Again, let's see if that's correct. 242424. So that's a dark color. So I'm going to save this and let's refresh this and see. Now you see the dark background or the dark mode now have a matching dark background. If I switch to light mode, you see we have this gray background, and if we switch back or toggle back to the dark mode, we have a corresponding color. Now another thing I want us to also look at here that we can customize, it's the color here at the top, or we can customize the nav bar. The two things you're seeing here, I think from this side to this, it's one part, and from here to the end, it's another part. So let me show you how to do that. If I should come back in here and target the nav bar, so it's going to be phi minus top bar, top, then bar minus nav. Okay, let's use nav like this. So for this, we can just set that. Let's just use a background color, an obvious color. I'm going to change that back. So let's say we're setting this to red so that you can see. So save this. If I refresh this, let's go back to light mode, because that's set for light mode. You see, we have a dark background, a red color here. And the other thing now here is this other part here, because we need to make sure that this is consistent. So one thing I always do is try to make this side the same with this other side. So let's go back here, and for that particular side, I'm going to use this dot phi here minus side bar minus here it's going to be header. So here I'm just going to use the same color with this, the same color. Save this and let's refresh this and see. You see, this now matches this side here. That's for the top. So for this now, we can just use our background color, or I will just select this, that's this one here, and I will just comment that out. And you notice we now have this sidebar, and this, it's looking great. And if we switch now to dark mode, you see we still have this, so we have to work on the dark mode version for this. So all I need to do is to copy this, and let's paste this here. And for this, I'm going to put the is then in parentheses dot dark. I'll make sure I'm adding the asterisk here. So for the dark background, I'll grab this code here and we can paste this here. Save this, and when you refresh this, you see our dark mode has been fixed. So with all this, you can actually customize your filament to look the way you want it to be. Now, before we round up, let's see how we can change the color of the background. So this time you go back to your CSS, and we're going to do phi, then minus panel minus admin. So this, I'm going to set that to background color, and let's use an obvious color first, and I'll make sure that this should override any default class that was set. So we use important. Save this, and let's refresh this and see. Now you see we have this red background color, and it's available for the red, for the dark background, and also the light mode. But yep, let's fix this for the light mode first. So I'll just use FFF, and if I save this and I refresh, we have this. But we also need to set that for the dark mode. So for the dark mode, I'll come back in here and copy this. Let's just copy this, Command C, and paste this. Then this time is going to column is, then parenthesis, we can add the dark and our asterisk here. So for the background color here, I can use 1B, 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 and save this. So let's come back in here, refresh this, and you see we have our dark mode, and we're controlling the background of this. We can actually do a lot customization once you understand the Filament CSS and how they work. And like I said earlier, this is not going to break your code. You don't see these tutorials online. I tried checking this, I did some research, checked YouTube. I was unable to find any video that does this. That is why I had to create this channel for this kind of videos. So if you're new to my channel and you want to see more customization using Filament, please kindly hit the subscribe button. You can actually customize the colors of the widget tables to suit in your design. If you want to see that, please kindly indicate in the comment section, and I'll see you in the next video.